Now we're going to do the I do, we do, you do page. So first one, find the unknown angle measure. So this one right here, we know that this right here is a 90-degree angle. Now, if it's a 90-degree angle, automatically we know that it's complementary. Now, complementary tells me that my two angles added together is going to equal 90 degrees. So that means 47 plus whatever x is going to equal 90 degrees. So this is just an equation, like it's a regular equation. So, you know, you got your line, you got your box. If you did that, subtract 47 on both sides. Right? So then x equals 43. And that's it. Okay? If you want to check it, you can go back and add it and say, okay, well, 43 plus 47, 7, 8, 9, 10, 4, 8, 9. Oh, look, I got 90, so I must be right. Okay? So, for the we do, find the unknown measure. Okay, well, how many degrees does the total angle, so both of them combined, how much would it add up to? So I'm going to pause the video, and I want you to think about it. And when you get your answer, I want you to write it down, and then I want you to unpause the video. Okay, so go ahead. All right, hopefully you said that together it's going to be 90 degrees, and that means it's going to be complementary. All right, so from there, right now, I want you to pause the video. I want you to see if you can figure out what x is. Okay, so go ahead, pause the video. All right, so hopefully you paused the video to figure out what x is. So we know that 63 plus x has to equal 90. So I'm going to subtract 63 on both sides. So x is going to equal 27. Okay. All right, now for the you do, I want you to go ahead and do it by yourself. After you find the answer, you can raise your hand and ask the sub for the answer, and then she can check your work to make sure you're doing it right. Okay, so go ahead and do that one. All right, next one. Find the unknown angle measure. Well, this right here is a straight line, and we have a straight line that automatically means 180 degrees, and that means it is going to be supplementary. Okay, it being supplementary means that the two angles added together is going to add up to 180 degrees. So 115 plus x is going to give you 180. It's a regular equation, so subtract 115 on both sides. So then you get x is going to equal 65. Okay? Now for the we do. Alright, so I want you to see if this is going to be a complementary or a supplementary angle. So go ahead and pause the video and see what you think it's going to be. So go ahead and pause it. Alright, so hopefully you said that it's going to be 180 degrees because it's all a line. It's going to be supplementary. So that means that 73 plus whatever x is going to be 180. So see if you can figure out what the x is going to equal. So pause the video and see if you can figure it out. Alright, hopefully you paused the video. So you should have done something like this. Right? We're going to subtract 73 on both sides. So x then is going to equal 107. Alright? Now, if you don't like using this equation and you know, hey, I just subtract that from 180, then do it. Like, you don't have to do the whole equation if you don't want to. Okay? Now, this one. It's the same thing. I don't need you guys to freak out on me. It's the same exact thing, right? There's a line. So you know that a line is going to be supplementary. And yes, you have 3 points, but y'all can do it. So I want you to try and figure it out. Raise your hand, and the sub will come around and check your work to make sure you're doing it right. All right? Next one. So find the unknown angle measure. So we have to find x. We have to find y, and we have to find z. Okay? Well, I know that 110 and y are across from each other, so that means they are adjacent. So adjacent, I mean not adjacent, I'm sorry, they are vertical. Right? And so vertical means that they are across from each other. It also means that they are going to be the same measure. Okay? So if they are vertical, they are going to be the same measure. So that means y is going to be 110 degrees. No math needed for that one. Now, if we also notice, we know that 110 and z, well, those two, they form a line, right? So because they form a line, that means that together, when you add them, it is going to equal 180 degrees because they are supplementary. So to find z, I'm going to say, okay, well, I'm going to do 110 plus z is going to get me 180 degrees. So I'm going to subtract 110 on both sides. So z now is going to equal 70. Okay, so z is equal to 70. Well, if z is equal to 70 and x is like across from it or vertical from it, then that means they are the same measure. So this is also 70 degrees. Okay. All right, next one. So we have to find the unknown measures. So what I want you to do is I want you to see if there's any vertical angles, any complementary angles, any supplementary angles. All right, and I want you to write it down, okay, or indicate that somehow. Okay, now, if there's an adjacent angle, I want you to find the adjacent angle, and I want you to write that angle measure. So take a minute, pause the video, see if you can figure it out. All right, so hopefully you notice that 78 and y are across from each other, which means that they are vertical angles, which means they are the same measure. So if 78 is across from y, that means y is also 78. Now, I know that 78 and x together form a line. So because they form a line, I know that it's going to be 180 degrees. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, okay, well, to find x, I'm going to do 78 plus x. That's going to equal 180. I'm going to subtract 78 from both sides, right? So x now is going to equal 102. Okay? Well, now I have one more, which is z, so I want you guys to pause the video, see if you can figure out what z is going to be. So take a minute, pause the video. Alright, hopefully you noticed that x and z are across from each other, so that means they're vertical, so that means this is also going to be 102. If you didn't see that, maybe you also saw that z and y, they form a 180 degrees. So you could have taken y, right, and then subtracted that from 180, and you would have also gotten 102. So there's a couple ways to kind of attack this. So, you know, there's not like one strict way of doing it, okay? All right, and so that's the you do one. I want you to try and figure it out. Again, when you get your answer, raise your hand, and the sub can come around and check your work, all right? All right, on the back. So, next one. It says, find the unknown angle measure. All right, so for these are triangles, okay? Now, a triangle adds up, all the angles inside a triangle add up to 180 degrees. Always, okay? Always, 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 always. If you need me to prove it to tell you why, just ask me when you see me and I'll prove it for the next class, okay? So if all of the stuff inside equal 180, well, that means that 82 plus 55 plus whatever this is going to give me 180 degrees. Okay, well, 82 plus 55 would be 137. So 137 plus whatever this like unknown thing is gonna equal 180 degrees. Well, now you know how to solve it, right? Subtract 137. So you get 43. Now, again, if you want to go back and plug it in, you could say, okay, does 43 plus 82 plus 55 give me 180? If it does, then you're good. If it doesn't, you did something wrong, okay? Now, we do. Find the unknown angle measure. All right, again, it's a triangle, so triangles add up to how many degrees? See if you can figure that out. Okay, hopefully you said 180. Now, we know that we have 35. We know we have 115, and we don't know what this K is, though. But I know that the total of all of them is going to be 180 degrees. So, let me add them up. These two I can add together, right, because they are the same, like they're regular numbers. So 5, 5, 10, 3, 4, 5, and then 1. Plus whatever this K angle is going to equal 180. Well, we're going to just subtract. So X now is going to equal 30 degrees. Okay? And again, if you need to check it, just go back in, plug it in, and see if it works. If it works, you know you did it. If it doesn't work, maybe you messed up on your math somewhere. Okay? So now, for the U deal. The only hint I'm going to give you for this is that when you have this little thing right here, it means 90 degrees. Alright? You should be able to figure that one out. So go ahead. If you want the sub to check it, just raise your hand and she will check it for you. Okay? Next one. Alright? Find the unknown measure. Okay, so this one a little bit more complicated. I'm trying to find this, but I have these two unknowns. But what I do know is that whatever this angle is, which is 124, and this angle, they make a line, don't they? So because they make a line, that means they're going to equal 180. So that means that if we make this x, let's say we make this, y, 124 plus x is going to give me 180. So if I subtract 124 on both sides, we get x is equal to, what's 180 minus 124? 56? Yeah, 56, okay? So we get that. You get 56. So now you know that this is 56. Okay, well now we have 56, we have 77, we're trying to find this. Well, we know that a triangle is going to add up to 180 degrees, right? We said that earlier. So we're going to take this 56 plus this 77, and we're going to say that's going to, plus the y, sorry. And all of that is going to equal 180 degrees, okay? So now, we are going to start off by adding the 56 and the 77. And we get 133. So 133 plus y is going to give you 180. We're going to subtract 133 on both sides. So we get y is equal to 47. Oops, sorry. Y is equal to 47. Okay? Alright, next one. Find the unknown angle measure. Alright, so if we look at this, we know we have a triangle. We know triangles add up to 180 degrees. Okay? We also know we have two unknowns, right? So I'm going to make this x, make this y. You can make them whatever letter you want. Okay? Now, we got x and y. So I know that this 104 and this x are what type of angles? I want you to see if you can figure it out and figure out the measure of angle x. So go ahead, see if you can figure it out. Pause the video. Alright, hopefully you pause it and realize that these are vertical angles. Vertical angles mean they're going to be the same. So that means x is automatically equal to 104. Okay? So now we have this 104, we have this 56, we're trying to find y. I want you to pause the video and see if you can figure out how to find y. So go ahead and pause the video. Alright, hopefully you pause the video, and hopefully you did 104 plus 56 plus whatever the y is, and that's going to give you a total of 180. Alright, so when we add that, we get 160 plus y is going to give you 180. When you subtract 160, you get y is equal to 20. Alright. And this is your last one. My hint to you is there's no vertical angles, but there are supplementary, okay? That is my only hint to you, is that there are some supplementary angles, okay? And then a triangle will add up to 180 degrees, all right? So with that said, I hope this helped, and I hope you guys understand it. Again, just ask me questions when you see me. If you need the sub to check your work, raise your hand and she'll tell you if you're right or wrong. And then I will talk to you guys later. All right, bye, y'all.